Hello and welcome to the Flashing Badger podcast. If you're joining us from episode 1, thanks for coming back. If you're new, welcome. But start with episode 1. This is part 2 of a story. Crash Pandas is the game that we are playing. It's the game of street racing raccoons. I know what you're thinking, what a hackneyed, crowded genre. But this is one of the best racing raccoon games I've ever played. It's from Rowan, Rook and Descartes. It's great fun. Joining me yet again this episode are... I'm Gordon, your host. We also have Mike.
Hey, I'm Mike, the one from the channel with the painting.
Fitz.
Evening.
And Wegs.
Hello, I'm Wegs. I don't paint much.
No. As a reminder, our 3 intrepid players here... Intrepid's a good word. We were playing Crash Pandas. Mike was Bin Diesel.
Still am.
A fading raccoon out for one last job before retirement. Fitz was Raspberry Jones.
Raspberry.
Heiress to a makeup fortune, desperate to get even with her former bestie turned frenemy. And Wegs was Ben D. Coot, or if you know him very well, Mr. Coot. Straight-laced, laser-focused, possibly a cop.
Nah, I wouldn't have thought so.
It all makes sense now.
I wouldn't have thought so.
And on the last episode, the gang were piloting their pink and purple road wagon down the dangerous viaduct race in Los Angeles. Alongside them, dangerous German racer, the Stick. Oh, hi. Guten Tag. I don't know why he became female, but he did. There we go. Let's enjoy it. And shortly behind him over their shoulder was El Jefe, dangerous luchador. With an argument with the raccoons, they flung poo at him. Unsuccessfully, but he's unhappy. When you last were with us, they were closing in on the finishing line very quickly, and we join them now, about to choose their next actions in their race to the finish.
We've thrown a banana peel and poo at El Jefe.
I would like to clarify, we actually didn't get to throw the poo.
Yeah.
I did the poo,
Most of the poo
but I
remains
missed the throw part.
in the front
That's actually
seat.
true.
Is it still in the cabin?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I think the front seat was a bit slippy.
Yeah, and in fact, and I forgot to mention, Bin Diesel had made an attempt to distract the Stick, and as a result, slipped, fallen onto the door handle, and the door had popped open with him dangling inches from death, raccoon inches even, which are shorter than normal inches, above the speeding past roadway. He's going to need help to get out of there. So all the team is going to choose their actions in secret. They roll the die, or they choose a side of a dice, keep it secret from each other, and then they're going to tell me what their plans are. Guys, each select your movement.
I'd like to clarify beforehand that I thought raccoon poo was like wombat poo, came out like square, or like a bit more throwable.
Well, we've had the fact checkers on since last week, and they've clarified that it's not.
Yeah.
Whose Google search history is ruined as a result of that?
My algorithm's putting up some
AliExpress is trying to sell you some great products.
So guys, let's go through. You've all got your dice set. Die-ing. Do I have any 1s on the dice? Any 2s? Any 3s?
I've rolled a 3, I've selected a 3, which is turn right 30 degrees.
Oh, so
My thinking is-
alongside the Stick and with El Jefe back over your right shoulder, what's the plan here? Is it going to swerve in front of El Jefe?
Get back on track at the moment because we mounted that side of the aqueduct and it's a little dangerous for me. I think we should be in the middle, making forward progress so I can unleash...
And with
I'll
Mr.
save this,
Coop, I presume he's put his indicator on before he does this?
Yes, for the requisite 5 seconds.
Absolutely. So, excellent. The car swerves back. It's now directly in front, almost door handle to door handle with the Stick, with the El Jefe just slightly behind still. Who's next? Do I have any 3s? Yeah, I had 3. Do I have any 4s? Any 5s?
Oh my word.
Do I have any 6s?
Yes.
Yeah,
I have a
6.
6th action.
Okay, well, given that Mike is stuck out on that door and can't get back without help, I think Fitz, I'll cross to you first. What, you're going to take an action with the 6 there? What are you doing?
Before I do my action, and this is how annoying I am to play an RPG, do we all have to be in a car to win? Like, does the car just have to...
Wouldn't have thought so.
I wouldn't have thought so.
Nobody checks for the driver in Formula One.
That's what I'm saying. Like, okay, that's fine.
I think the famously heavily policed world of illegal street racing is probably pretty flexible.
In that regard, I will actually try and help Bin.
Oh, Bin Diesel. Yep.
Try and help Bin get back into the car because we do need his help nonetheless. And yeah, that's my action.
Okay.
My
So
third
tell me,
action.
what does that look like? How do you help him?
I'm in a spot of bother here, Eris.
I'm thinking kind of like the standardized kind of action shot with my black little raccoon hand reaching out, holding out his black little raccoon hand, claws just touching.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And just while the ground's moving underneath, his face might be getting close to it.
So if your action was a Sylvester Stallone film, it would be Cliffhanger.
Rocky 4.
Adrian's Revenge.
The robot. Brilliant.
Happy birthday, Paulo.
Right.
That's what keeps him coming back.
Drop on my mumble shoe. Righto. Yeah, so
okay.
that's what I'm going to do.
Mike,
Yep.
your action, what was that?
My action was, at the moment, it's both paws hanging onto that mirror, and it's doing the as I slide further back.
Destroying the interior of the car, I recall.
Still, yes. No panel will be safe by the end of this.
Quite upset by this. This is a nice car.
It'll buff out, I promise.
It was a nice car.
Realizing that I'm about to slip off, I'm starting to think of how I'm going to get back in. So now it's one paw's off and reaching for the side of the car to try and grab onto the seatbelt. Let's go.
That was a flapping in the wind noise, I believe.
I thought he was eating ice cream. Oh my god.
With the intent of grabbing and doing like a tuck and roll, but back into the car.
Okay, so launch yourself. I think what I'd like to see is a roll. But I'm happy that Fitz is going to help you, going to reach out and try and catch you here. So your alacrity skill. So the skills in Crash Pandas, I don't know if you recall from last week, they're all pretty unusual. We have alacrity, which is moving, leaping, climbing, swimming. Chutzpah, being carrying off schemes, ruses, and disguises. Ferociousness, scratch, bite, and maim, and rotundity, to use your great weight to remain steadfast. So I think your alacrity skill there. Tell me, what's your number in your skill?
That's a real shame. It's a 1.
Okay, so what that means is he's going to get 1 dice and aim for a 4, 5, or 6 for a success. It's going to take 2 successes, but I'm happy. Fitz helping you. I'm happy that gives you another dice.
Up to 2.
And they do have a couple of banked successes that they can spend if they wish.
I didn't want your help, Eris, but my back's playing up. So I reach out now and try and grab his paw, her paw instead.
Just because you don't want my help doesn't mean it's not needed.
I think if I fail this, I'm going to be in a little ball rolling backwards towards El Jefe's muscle car.
Well, I think
So I may need to spend some of our success to ensure that this goes off.
yeah, and I would like to think that even if you do miss, there's still an opportunity for me to very, very action shot wise reach out and grab you at that last minute.
Where you go, he's about to hit the target.
He's about to hit the helmet.
So maybe we'll spend 1 success, which takes us from 3 down to 2.
Yep.
And then I'll be rolling
That's
2,
tricky.
and I need one of them to succeed.
Okay, so you just need 1 success. Give me a roll.
I got 2.
Because it's 2, I think that extra dice should give you some cool points there. So I think what actually happens is, just as your nails let go of the door handle, they slip onto the latch of the door, then onto the exterior bodywork, and you're slowly sliding down before the wind inflates your underarm fur, making you like a flying squirrel for a second, elevating in the air before Raspberry, using the seatbelt as a lasso, throws it out. You grab onto the far end and climb your way back into the driver's seat of the car.
Cheers, doll.
I ain't your doll.
Well, the trouble isn't over yet.
Oh no.
Because unfortunately, seeing this disruption, the stick has floored his accelerator, now a whole car length in front of you, and El Jefe has stepped out, slipstreaming, now alongside you. So off to your front quarter there, the 1 o'clock position, you've got the stick leading the race. Alongside you, absolutely mirror to mirror, El Jefe. And only a few short minutes till you reach the finish line in this steep, dried out, thankfully, aqueduct. I'm going to get you to select your next
I'm
moves.
getting a bit excited.
Bearing in mind, you can use some of those successes to do some cool stuff.
Do we use that before we're selecting our dice, or is
I'll
it?
let you use it whenever you like, because I'm pretty flexible like that, but you can use it to run chumps off the road. You'd have to be making some action to do it.
Yeah.
You'd do some cool tricks, find or create a better route so you can actually pick your way through like a racing game, pick a new thing. And because your car is still going along at reasonably high speed, what happens is I roll a couple of dice for each speed point that you have. So your car is moving at speed 6 at the moment. So I'm going to roll 6 speed dice. And unfortunately for you, your car's taken 2 damage. You can hear the engine getting stressed. Little puffs of smoke coming out from underneath the bonnet. But you've also gained 2 more successes to spend. So you can add them to your total. But unfortunately, your car's beginning to cough and splutter a little bit now. And you would say, if you had to estimate, it's about 40% damaged.
When was the last time you took this thing in for a service?
Yeah, I want to see the logbook actually.
So, each in secret, no collusion, please select your dice. Well, if anyone has anything to help you, you can obviously use your item. That's by selecting a number 4 on your dice there. It can help give you a speed boost, because if you're not in the first 2 positions in this race, you're not going to qualify for the final showdown.
And just to clarify, how many turns?
I would say maximum 2, depending on what's more dramatic.
I
It's
love the
likely
idea that
to
if we
end.
did have nitrous, it would cut across the tank and it'd say nitrash.
Yeah,
Nice.
nice.
Well played.
I would say this is probably going to be your last turn to select actions,
Okay.
though.
All right.
Unless someone can convince me that the finish line is being dragged to a different spot by over-enthusiastic spectators. It isn't. So select your dice.
I selected,
Do I have any 1s?
yes,
So 1.
very unorthodox, but I've elected to brake, reducing our speed.
Oof. So,
And old mate Bin Diesel here is itching to tell you why.
speedier car
Oh,
drops to
yeah.
5. The car drops back, sitting now on the rear quarter of El Jefe's car, which is right up the bumper of the stick in first place.
And what I'd like to do is a move that I learned back on the regional circuit, knowing that we're approaching the finish line and you need to do something to ensure that you get there and they don't. I drop the speed with the intention of now spending a couple of those points, and I'm looking for a pit maneuver on El Jefe's muscle car. Knowing that if we went panel to panel straight up, we wouldn't have the weight for it. But now we're going to use physics.
Well, is anyone... We're going to have to see if anyone's turned in, if anyone's given you the opportunity here to make contact with him and turn him round. So, our turn dice are 2 for turn left and 3 for turn right. We'd need a 3 to connect with him. Do we have any 2s or 3s?
Oh no!
Oh no! He's been left high and dry.
Maybe we can
4s?
spend those
We have a
successes
4.
to get a
Pretty
turn.
much a use item.
Oh, we have
a
a 4 here. So, Mr. Ducout is using an item. What are you doing there, Ben?
My sole remaining item, obviously the tape to the band that we don't talk about.
The greatest hits of a very great band is playing.
The
Yep,
Monarch, if you will.
correct.
My item is Turbo Rocket,
Oi,
plus 3 speed.
okay.
No.
And how...
It's, look, I'm not going to lie to you, Mr. Diesel. Didn't think you'd break towards the finish line there. Now,
It's almost like we're not working together.
well, we're certainly not colluding. There can be no accusation of collusion. I think, and I'm quite confident to say this, that Mr. Diesel hits the brakes. We slightly just, wave it back and forth a tiny bit.
Little fishtail in the back of the car?
Thank you, a fishtail, if you will. A raccoon tail, if you will.
I will not.
I retract that statement and apologise to our audience. As the second that we're pointing at the rear left-hand side tyre of Mr. Hefe's car, my rocket just happens to detonate. Wham!
So is your rocket attached to your car to give you a boost, or is it used as a projectile weapon?
Well, I had attached it to our car.
Tell me, for those at home not familiar with
Rocketry.
rocketry, how's the rocket been attached to your car? Where and how?
It's on the boot. So where the spoiler is, it's basically being jammed under the spoiler,
Yep.
duct taped into place.
And I'm picturing, is this one of those big red pointy
Yeah,
Wile E.
precisely.
Coyote rockets?
1950s.
Yep.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
Acme. In fact, it's Acme brand. It's the only brand I trust.
As you should. And we thank again Acme for their sponsorship and consideration in the podcast. So is the back of the car, you're saying just as the back of the car's turned a little bit, it's going to drive you forward into the rear of El Jefe.
It's like at 4 times the speed of sound.
That's big numbers.
That's,
Let me do some quick maths here. That's speed 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's speed 8. That's what they call the crush speed. The second that we launch into that car, anything in our path is crushed, annihilated.
I tell you what, if you spend me a couple of successes I think we can try and make a favourable outcome.
I think this is our one.
I tell you what,
I was banking on spending them. Just with my break-in.
I'm gonna
Gordon was
write-
having none of it.
I'm
I was
going to
just
write
gonna
a number
turn.
down. I'm going to write a number down, and you're going to bid. And if your number doesn't match the bid,
Wait, what if
Hang
I go
on.
over?
no, if you go over, you just spend too many. But I'm
Okay,
going to
so
write down
one.
the minimum that you have to spend to make this a success. So you tell me.
I'll put it on the dice. Is that what
Yeah,
you're
hang
thinking?
on. Do we all do it secretly? Or how
No,
do you do
no, he's. I'll trust one of your group to be a representative here.
Would you like to do it as your action?
it? It seems fair. How do you feel about lucky number 3?
Well, you don't say it because
Well, no, I've already written it down.
No, he's
I
already
raised
written
my
it.
hands
I'm
in the air.
negotiating. I'm negotiating.
I think we go big. We need to finish in the top 2.
4,
for
baby.
this. So
4, baby.
I reckon go a 4.
4?
Yeah.
Well,
Do we
the thing
need to
is,
go
I
5?
have an action.
We don't have 5, so you won't be
How
going
many
5.
do you have? Let's do it. 4.
4. The magic number was 3.
Oh,
Yes.
Congratulations. The car zooms forward, almost unbearable acceleration, pulling the skin back from your raccoon face until you look like that thing from Beetlejuice, what's got the pointy. Anyway, you strike the rear left-hand corner of El Jefe's car, catapulting it forwards until it mounts up on the rear of the stick, causing the stick's car to have a big speed wobble and drop back alongside you. El Jefe, meanwhile, flies up the side of the aqueduct, spinning back behind you, and he has the presence of mind to reach his gloved hand out of the window.
And yell,
Curse you, raccoons.
¿Dónde está biblioteca?
¿Dónde está biblioteca? ¿Dónde está el sanitario? Y cosa este viejo y podrido. The cheese is, as Encino Man told us many years ago, the cheese is old and mouldy. So with El Jefe spiraling out of sight and you neck and neck with a stick, let's cross to Fitz and see what he's got in planned.
Seems like all those things took care of the actions that I was going to do.
What are
But
you
you
going to
know
do with your
what?
fistful of poo now?
Well, you know what? I was going to attempt to run El Jefe off the road.
Well, that's been taken care
But
of.
that's been taken care of. But you know what?
Don't you worry your pretty face.
Second still qualifies. But it's not first. So let's try and run the stick off the road.
Okay, so you've got an action there. What's your action?
My action is to run him off the road.
Tell me what your guy is doing. Your individual raspberry. What's she doing?
Well, I did have thoughts of sort of, when it was El Jefe, bouncing into the car with my nimbleness and
Okay.
wrapping myself around the
Oh, okay.
face or the head of the luchador.
Let's give that a go.
You
You
can
know
do that.
what? Why don't we do that with the stick?
With the
Let's
stick?
make this fun.
Okay, so do that. You're going to leap from one car to
So
another.
as anthropomorphic as I am, I'm also going to be and then scutter across.
I can picture it.
Use your alacrity.
Using my alacrity.
Which is a stat of 4, I believe. So roll me 4 dice, and I would like.
And my ferociousness as well.
Nah, you get 1. I would like 2 successes though, because even though the cars are neck and neck.
Hey,
I have 3 successes.
Fantastic. So you leap through the narrow gap. As you hit that moment of airstream, you suddenly seem for a second like you're going to decelerate and get dragged towards the back window of the car, which is firmly shut. But you hook your fingers or your claws over the opening of the driver's window, because the stick always drives with the window down. It's well known. Launch yourself inside and grab onto the faceplate of the stick's helmet.
And I go full raccoon spider monkey on it.
Yeah, there's a fair chance he knows you're a raccoon now.
And
Or a spider monkey.
Yeah, true.
definitely one of the
as
two.
the stick's helmet, the visor is forced up the darkly tinted visor, you can hear the stick protesting, "Nein, nein, not eine visor, nein!" As the visor fully opens, it opens just a crack. You make eye contact with the bandit mask of a raccoon. And instantly, that moment, that shock of recognition flows through you just before you get launched back into your own car by the flailing arms of the stick. You say, "Sweets?"
No!
Now, for those of you who didn't listen to last week, Raspberry Jones's former friend turned enemy, Sweets, has now been revealed as the Stick, the mysterious racing figure. A surprise to everyone, including me, because I just made it up.
I'm like, I feel so important.
How does this make Raspberry feel, Fitz? As you're flailing back, being thrown back into your own car?
It's a combination of horror, a combination of intimidation, and anger. Wild, vitriolic.
Like, it's mainly
Rage.
anger.
Righteous fury.
I'm
So-
in this for one reason and one reason only, which is to try and one-up Strawberry Sweets.
How much do you hate sweets?
I hate her like no raccoon has ever hated another before.
So back in your car, as you land back on the seat, and you look at your claws and you see the blood of your enemy on the tips there, you're filled with satisfaction?
No.
Oh.
I'm filled with the thirst for revenge.
Oof. So, for the sticks part, with all the protesting and the wailing and the trying to get a clawing raccoon off his, presumably 3 raccoons in a race suit, face, his car starts fishtailing up the road, allowing you to pull ahead by a nose. As the finish line races up and you streak into the record books, as, unbeknown to the humans with you, the first raccoons to ever win the qualifying round in the Los Angeles Viaduct. Yay! So as you drive past the guys next to the flaming oil barrels, kick them over in celebration, and they do the boo with the little party poppers. Yep. So it's a very auspicious event. You continue driving off into the night, knowing that your place is secure, leaving the flaming, the smoking wreckage of El Jefe's car behind you. But as you're driving back out of the racetrack, you can hear your car spluttering and fading. So we'll cut now and look ahead. You know it's a week until the finals, and we know you get there because that happened in the prologue. But what's happening in this week in between? How do you go about fixing your car? How does a raccoon get a car fixed in this town? Raspberry, it's your car. What's going to be the plan?
We take it to the local, I don't know.
I've got a garage.
Oh, actually, yeah. Bin
A chop shop.
Bin knows a guy.
Some underground Los Angeles seedy chop shop.
Yep, I used to get around with a crew. It's my old crew. So
Bin knows
we're
a
gonna.
geezer on the high street.
What's the crew called?
Where's your wheelie bins?
The Wheelie Bin crew.
Wheelie bins, done.
And I'm just what's their address?
So
Nike.
So you make your way to the Wheelie Bins chop shop, and when you get there, it's an imposing building, big roller doors, rust, in this really bad part of town. There's oil slicks outside, there's wrecked cars piled up, there's one of those big guard dogs with a giant spiky collar on. The car slowly rolls in the door there. Are you going to get a friendly welcome when you go in there? Are you still beloved, or has there been a bad falling out?
No, so I'd left the crew with the intention of never coming back. So the 2IC has now taken over, and I get that real salty reception as I roll in. And there's a few of them sitting around like the card table, the fold-out table as they're playing cards and things like that. They're like, yeah, it's that real look who's showing his face around here.
That awkward icy.
And I seem to recall that the 2IC of the Wheelie Bins was none other than Phil Collins, your former friend. Is that right?
Phil, how are you, mate?
Yeah, still drumming.
Algorithm. Think of the algorithm.
Phil sees you and he walks out wiping his hands on an oily rag. Of course, this isn't ridiculous. Phil is obviously a human being. He's not a raccoon. That would be stupid. So he walks out wiping his hand on this rag and he throws it on the ground as the moonlight glistens off his bald head and his thick glasses. He says, Ben, you've got a lot of nerve showing your face back here after what you pulled. But I knew you were coming. I felt something in the air tonight.
Oh.
I said to myself, just another day in paradise.
Can I just walk on and never look back? Because this is getting cheesy.
What do you say to Phil?
I wouldn't come back, Phil, unless it was worth your while. We're talking big money.
Money.
One last job, Phil. I need to know if you're in or out.
What? Well, you gotta let me talk. I don't know when it's my turn. What?
I do a lot of big horses.
Pause. Not a pause joke. Phil says, what's my cut? Bin.
Same as it's always been.
No, he asked you. He asked you, Bin. Oh, hang on. Who's on first? I'm getting confused.
It's been what?
Diesel.
Oh. Yeah, I know him. Used to work with him. No good, but I could tell he was coming back. I felt something in the air tonight.
60-40 my favour. And out of your 40, most of that goes to the rest of my crew.
That seems fair to me, but I never was good at maths. Bring the car in. What do you need?
It needs a real tune-up. Miss Daisy over here doesn't know how to fix her motor, and it's been running rough, like a one-legged man down a cobblestone street.
Being
I
I'm
would love to
disappointed
know
in
what
you.
part of London you're meant to be from.
Being I'm disappointed I never knew you to make fun of the handicap back when we were friends, but I'll help you this time. So they wheel the car inside, and I thought Ben Diesel was American, but obviously clearly not. He was Australian for a bit.
Yeah.
Let's not worry about it. I'm sure it's fine. Raccoons have different regional dialects than us.
Even within the same sentence.
Sometimes, yeah. So the car gets wheeled inside. It's going to take a few hours. So in the meantime, what are you guys getting up to?
Well, can I ask first?
You can.
Is there some augments to be put on my car, if you will?
Oh
Are
yeah.
you going to buff out all those scratches?
I'm gonna, for starters, I'd like the scratches buffed out.
Maybe we put plastic down on the front seat for next time.
Surely I get a bit of attention from the lads in the warehouse here, the girls and the guys in the warehouse.
Productivity reduced 10%.
That's right. You're obviously well known to them. Yep. What you're going to be manipulating some of them to do something
Yeah, I
for
think
you?
so.
A little chutzpah.
Little chutzpah.
Okay.
Hello, boys.
What are you aiming for?
I want some. Can I fit out my car with, nitrous oxide and?
What's that? You want a random item from the table?
Yes.
Okay. Sure. Make me a chutzpah roll, and I'll let you roll a d20.
Maybe some fuzzy dice. I don't know.
Let's find out.
I've got one success.
That'll do for me. Roll this d20 for me and tell me what you get.
7.
7? Aren't you in luck, sweetheart? Says one of the mechanics who is not Phil Collins, even though I can only do one voice. Leads you to the side. He says, got some of Father's best for you. And opens his coat and withdraws a small brown bottle. Delicious nectar. Father's best cough syrup. And to read the description here from the table, cough syrup. Doesn't work on coughs, but at least it's narcotic.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
Don't write narcotic down. You'll have someone on your heels pretty quick.
God, that'd be terrible, wouldn't it?
This guy.
Can I just take a photo?
Okay, so the repairs are ongoing. You have to come back for your car the day before the race, say. So are you go your separate ways or do you stay together? Oh, I'm terribly sorry, Ben.
Mr. Coote, thank you. A possibly contra-legal round of poker taking place. This upsets me greatly. I walk over, I stand behind the biggest, toughest, scariest looking guy, and I stare at his cards as he's holding them, and I shout, "Whoa, 2 aces!" Just to see what happens.
I would. So the very large man stands up, who has a very large anchor tattoo on one arm and the arrow through the heart with mum on the other, stands up, and he turns around and he reaches out his hand and locks his hand around your neck and
Well,
he lifts you up until he's eye to eye with you, and he says, "Hey, why'd you do that? That's ruined the game for all of us. None of us can enjoy it now. I'm disappointed in you, small man."
Small,
Man.
furry
Man.
man.
He's very emphatic. He looks for a second like he's confused, and one of his eyes sort of wanders out of true, like he's struggling with it mentally, but he comes all the way back round to man, to describe you. You might be in for a beating here. What are you going to do?
Well, it would be, except of course, my alacrity allows me to slip through his fingers and swiftly take him down.
Oof. Okay, so you're choosing the path of violence.
The path less travelled, if you will.
Okay, I'll let you have an alacrity roll for that. What's your...
3.
Okay, so roll me 3d6s and tell me how many successes you have.
I don't know, in today's current state of affairs, you could say
1.
violence was the
I have
path.
1.
One success. So I would say you managed to claw free from his hand. You slip your tiny little raccoon-shaped skull from his hand.
Raccoon shaped, obviously, is the skull of a man, but
It's raccoon-shaped, but obviously you're a small furry man. No one would ever assert that you're a raccoon. And you launch yourself towards his face and start frantically trying to claw at him. And the large gentleman seems completely unmoved by this. He says, "Hey, listen, you could hurt someone doing that, and I don't appreciate your physical actions towards me now."
I'm sorry. I apologise. I don't know what came over me. I'm a bit of a loose cannon. I'm always getting yelled at by my boss. He's always like, "You're a loose cannon. The chief's gonna have my ass."
He says, "Your boss,
Yeah,
the chief,
No.
You're not a cop, are you?
No.
I think it sounds to me like you're trying to deceive him. I might need a chutzpah roll to see if you can carry this off.
Before we do, there's that law that says if you ask me if I'm a cop, I have to say I am.
I'm familiar with that from many Hollywood
from
films.
Many Hollywood documentary films.
Yeah.
Yes. So if you ask me if I'm a cop,
He says,
I have to say.
are you some kind of cop?
Yeah, if you ask me that, I have to tell you if I am.
He says, yes, so are you?
Yeah, like if you ask me like that,
But are you a cop?
Yeah, like just like that. I go, all right, well, great game, guys. I'll let you go. I'm disappointed to see illegal gambling taking place in the City of Angels, but it's a weary world out there, and I'm going to walk into the night.
The large gentleman seems ill-equipped to handle this kind of intellectual fencing with you, and slowly shakes his head. And I suppose, in a way, this makes you cast your mind back to what brought you to this place. So remind us of that. Remind us what happened to get you involved. Because the first time we saw you, you were just strolling up to the car on the starting line. How did you ever get involved?
Yeah, no, I was out for a walk, and
Well, I'm going to do the flashback sound, which means you have to flashback now.
No, okay. The Scooby-Doo flashback, if you will.
That's correct. So,
The big cheese.
3 weeks ago,
3 weeks ago.
the office door flies open,
Bang.
and the big cheese yells, God damn it, Coop, get in here!
Get your ass in here.
I want your badge and your gun and your certificate of achievement on my desk now, God damn it! And obviously the big cheese, everyone would know is...
My mortal nemesis. My boss.
Yeah.
The chief.
The chief of the... what agency was it?
It's a law enforcement aid. Guys, you're not going to believe this. I'm actually an undercover cop.
Oh, you shut the front.
You know I wasn't in your flashback, right? But thank you for disclosing that.
It's actually, funnily enough, these two were going through the bin outside. They just didn't know who he was talking to at the time.
Oh, I see. Right,
I also found cheese.
Right, so this is my flashback.
So yeah, what did the big cheese task you? Remind me.
Big cheese. Damn it, Coop. You cheat. The chief's going to have my ass. You're a loose cannon. I mean, you very strictly comply with OH&S legislation. But the chief's going to have my ass for some reason.
God damn it! They always say that. I don't know why.
You should be the cheese.
Okay, I'll be the cheese.
Ironically,
God damn it!
the
Coop.
cheese's name is Captain Mortadella, but anyway.
Oh, I see that. What you've done.
Yeah.
So the cheese says, "Listen, Coop, come to our attention. There is some illegal street racing going on down." He's moved accents.
I was about to
again.
say, he's got a wide range.
He sounds like Sheriff
drill
Buford
sergeant
T.
from-
Justice. Illegal street racing in the understreets of LA.
Police that mustache.
And as you all know, there is no crime in Los Angeles. I want you to get down there and find out. It's come to our attention that some of these cars wouldn't be compliant with roadworthy legislation. Some of them may even have frayed seatbelts.
Chief.
Get
Cheese.
down there and inspect them. You can go undercover. You can use all resources at your disposal. But don't let me hear you've been exposed as an undercover agent again because someone asked you nicely. 3 times in a row, that's happened. So now take your badge and gun back and go down there.
And the certificate of achievement?
Yeah, I'm keeping it.
God damn it.
God damn it. So the chief was furious with you and almost bodily threw you out of his office, which is pretty easy because you are, in fact,
A raccoon.
a small raccoon,
Yes.
which he's obviously not aware of because
No,
that
no,
would
no,
make the game ridiculous.
Yes.
Unflashback, we return to present day. Well, raccoon time. Thanks, Fitz. Appreciate it.
Yep.
With the information you've gathered, is there any action you're going to take as part of your...
I might stop picking fights with large tattooed men playing illegal poker games. I think I'm going to surreptitiously step outside and make a quick phone call.
You did see a pager just as you came in. There was a pager on the forecourt. And you could, you do know the Big Cheese's pager number by heart.
His MSN, his ICQ screen name. Yes.
It's good. It's very helpful. I think ICQ's gone bankrupt, so I think we can still use that. That's fine.
Yeah, oh, thank God. Thank God.
And so you're sending a message.
Yeah.
Are you going to implicate Raspberry and Bin, or have you grown fond of them in your time together?
I'm concerned. I was as straight-laced as they come. I was the company man through and through. I think they're starting to have a corrupting influence on me. I think I'm starting to see the allure of the dark side of street racing.
Now that you know the location of the final race, because obviously they paged you, in the meantime, so you knew where to turn up.
Yeah.
Because it would be ridiculous otherwise.
Oh, God, yeah.
You know that it's taking place at the abandoned airbase just outside town.
Oh, my God.
The aircraft graveyard. The boneyard.
Boeing Boneyard.
Boeing boneyard. I like it very much. You know it's taking place there. And you know, as you cast your mind's eye forward, that this is a place full of gutted aircraft, explosive red barrels, long runways, high
Fokker 50s.
danger. Oh,
Oh, language.
I like what? It's the only plane I know. I was just trying to be involved.
do you send the address to the chief?
A very short pager message. Chief, Boeing Boneyard, the date of the final race, and my last will and testament. Should I not survive?
It's a very long page, but I'll allow it.
I
Okay.
thought you're going to do like 6 numbers in a page.
So is there anything else? Any other actions? Any other magic that happens before you line up on that race grid where we first met you? Which I admit the location of has been slightly retconned, but just let's let that sail.
No, I think so. I over that coming week, I get into the tabloids and I publicly call out the stick.
Ooh.
Do you name and shame the stick, or do you keep it between you?
And shame the stick.
So on the front page of the
Backwards.
Los Angeles Herald on the morning of the race, you see that Sweets has actually been sent back overseas to her Swiss finishing school to make sure that her
Is it
behaviour...
Swiss or Finnish?
Very well done, very well done.
Yep, nice.
Scandinavian humour, I enjoy it very much.
You have to put it together yourself. It's pretty good.
Well done.
They write themselves.
Thank you, everyone. So she's been sent back to her finishing school to learn some more manners and decorum as becomes an heiress of her nature. So the stick has been taken out of the street racing scene. So as you roll up on that grid at the airbase, the sun low on the horizon, you see none other than El Jefe's boss, Mr. Big. And lucky for me, Mr. Big has one of 3 accents that I can do. And it's almost exactly the same as the Big Cheese because I didn't plan very well.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Michael Caine.
I thought it was going to be Russian.
It says, hello, Raspberry.
Michael Caine. Michael Caine making one of those final movies where he just needed a paycheck.
The thing about me, Raspberry, and not many people know this, is that I'm an avid street racer. That's as much as I'm sorry. It's pretty bad already. I'm not doing it anymore. I won't inflict it on you. So Mr. Big, who's a loud Texan oil man, he's in this big brown suit. He's got the white cowboy hat. He's driving a black limo with the big steer horns on the front. And his when you look in the front seat with the window cracked, it's actually driven by a very small elderly butler, Reginald. But Mr. Big sits in the back, so it counts to his street racing career. And it's long been known that he's the mastermind behind the whole street racing scene. And on the other side, you line up on the grid here, is none other than, in her 1975 Pontiac Firebird with a giant Pontiac on the bonnet, Phoenix Fury, the leather-clad, knife-wielding bad girl of the street racing scene. Really a bit of a fashion icon to you, Raspberry, I believe. She lines on the other side. She's brash and she's tall.
My fangirling a little bit.
If you dove into her backstory, you'd know that she's here to avenge her brother, who was killed. But by who? I don't know. It's a mystery. There's only 3 characters in the game so far. I'll see if you can figure it out.
Killed so many.
So, as the lights go green, just before you get to the line though, I'm pretty sure Mike and Wegs, didn't you go scurrying through a bin looking for more things?
Thank God you raised that, my dear
Yeah.
Dungeon Master. Thank God you brought that
Okay,
up.
well I think you should roll that dice there and see what you get. I made
D20?
Fitz use his charm for it, but you can just have it because I like you more.
5.
This is a cardboard box.
Oh, thank God.
And as the description says, it's a multi-purpose logistics and obfuscation device. So you
going
can
to write
solid snake your way with it, or you can carry things in it,
What
or
is
you
box?
could, like the gentleman in Airplane says, you could make a brooch or a pterodactyl, all kinds. And Mike, what have you got?
So Bin, when he was getting ready to come to the meet, he was sitting at an old-fashioned diner, and he has his usual tradition of a biscotti and a long black.
That's a typical gangster food, yep.
Got halfway through his biscotti and then said, "Pam, I'm not in the mood." And he slid like the little saucer with the half of biscotti back across the table, pulled his cap down a little lower and ding, 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 out the diner door, and went to walk back to meet everyone else. and paused. And then went...
Paused.
And instinctively went through the bins. Shall we see what he found?
Yes.
It's a 9.
It's a 9. Oh, I feel it's the best item you could ever get. It's duct tape.
Yes!
It can repair anything. It can hold everything together. It's magical. Thanks again to duct tape.
Oh, imagine if we had 20 different sponsors and you just roll a sponsored item.
That would be good.
Oh, it's
Duck
a
or duct?
free session with
Duct
better help.
with
Oh,
a
right.
T to repair ducts.
Right, no.
Whack. An animal in this universe? That's
Be
mad.
ridiculous.
I know, I thought like a duck holding tape.
So-
I've seen such a thing.
Lined up at the end of the runway. Heat haze rising. The giant number
Are we at night or in the day?
He said the sun was going down.
going
You can't
down.
street race during the day.
Are you
That
foolish?
would look garbage.
Then why is there heat rising?
It's still hot at night
right.
sometimes. Does anyone? Have you ever been outdoors? Anyway, big number 34 on the ground in front of you. End of the runway. The hangars are banded to the side. You can see the cones laid out where the track goes. There's a few marshalling posts to make sure it's all run fairly. There's the skeletal hulks of giant transport aircraft. How big are they, you ask? As big as the action requires them to be. That's the answer.
Seems fair.
But they're big ones. Or are they not small enough to fit a car? We don't know. We'll find out. Smash Man!
Smash Man is a new toy for boys. Boys only, not for girls. Girls don't smash things, only boys smash things. Smashing things turns boys into men. Smash Man is a smasher. He's a huge action figure with massive biceps and a big wooden club. He's a man. What are you, a girl? Buy a Smash Man right now. If you don't buy a Smash Man, you better be dead.
Or in jail!
And if you're in jail, break out.
The heat haze is rising. The person holding the flag drops it to the ground. And we're away. Everybody choose your dice for the action of the car.
I've selected the D20 and put a 20 down.
That's self-destruct.
Selected.
Bold. Okay, everybody ready? Do I have a 1? 2.
Yes.
Okay, 2. Tell me
We are
what
turning left 30 degrees.
Yeah.
This is a little something for Raspberry, the heiress. I know that she's got beef.
So this puts you directly on the path towards Phoenix Fury, who's aiming towards the sort of back of her driver's door now. Meanwhile, behind you, Mr. Big is beginning to accelerate away. Do I have a 3? A 4? A 5?
Yeah, I've got
Yes,
5.
you have 2 5s.
So
Accelerate.
both Wegs and Fitz have chosen a 5, which is to accelerate, which drives your car straight remember that came from, straight into the driver's
Austria,
door,
apparently.
or the passenger door, one of the doors of the car on your left-hand side. Driving at full speed, you ram into it with great fury, which has the effect of not causing your speed to go up by that much. You're only moving reasonably slowly. Does a little bit of damage to the front of your car, but I'll tell you this. It does a lot of damage to Phoenix Fury's car.
Yes.
I thought we'd set the tone early
I love it.
as we get ready to take off.
And you see Phoenix Fury looking at you.
You do owe me your life, Bin. So.
I gave you an aircraft pun.
Phoenix looks out the window, shakes her long blonde hair in like very glamorous disgust and disdain at you. But still, Raspberry, your heart beats a little faster that she looked at you. But her car's ready, and she sort of throws her hands up. She goes, "Fuck you do that for?" I'd like to apologise to everyone listening.
I have this vision of this like Lucy Liu, Charlie's Angels type svelte ultra
Yeah,
assassin character with that voice.
she rarely talks. She's usually a
Yeah,
strong,
yeah.
silent type for that reason.
Yeah, thank God.
So you play onto the side of the car, and obviously it pushes her towards the edge of the runway, and Mr. Big gets ahead, so he's now probably a car length ahead of you, still accelerating. Set your dice for the next round.
I'm sure we'll catch
Do
back
we
up.
need to? Do you need to?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I don't want to, but I'll roll 1 dice. Oh, it's a 5. I'll give you 1 success point to spend.
Probably.
Yes. I'm trying to get my orientation about where we're sort of
Your left and your right.
Yeah, so you turned left before, so logic would say you have to turn right to get back. But those successes might help you find an alternate route. Right, do we have any 1s? Any 2s? Any 3s? Any 4s? Any 5s?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
You made out like you were going to turn.
Yeah,
So
but then someone
all
said you shouldn't do that. And I was
three
like,
of
oh, okay. And I did it.
All three of you scurry down to the driver's footwell, and all three of you are pushing so much so you can't even fit all your paws on the pedal. You're pushing each other out of the way. It's counterproductive, and your car is still locked with Phoenix Fury pushing her further and further to the deep drainage ditch at the end of the runway. She's still looking out the window at you, just throwing her arms up in shock that you're even doing this. As far as she knew, there was no beef between the two of you.
There is now.
There is now. On the plus side, it does 6 more damage. 6 damage to your car, so your car has come off pretty poorly. And to her car, 1 damage.
Oh, God.
Oof. So you started out okay, but all of a sudden, your car's in worse shape than hers.
Like a 6-year-old that barely fits on the Dodgem car. Just going straight away
And
up to the side.
Your speed has gone up a bit, but I'm only putting it up by 1 point because you are locked, in Mortal Kombat with it. So, Mr. Big continues to accelerate off into the distance. Remember, this is for all the biscuits. This is the final race.
We've just gone to settle on scrolls.
Yeah, it's like you're playing
there were no
Demolition
old
Derby.
scrolls.
Get out of my way! I'll roll your dice and see if we get any more success points to spend. No, but you do get a 1, which causes 1 more point of damage to your car. So your car, if I was to put a number on it, it'd be 7 out of 10 damage.
That's good after 2 rounds.
Lucky one of us rolled some duct tape.
So, next round. Set your dice up for me. Mr. Big is disappearing. He's almost a third of the way up the runway by now. And you know the track is up the runway, across the taxiway, through the demolished hangar, through the wreckage of the plane, jump off up the ground wing, up to the high wing, jump off, land on the roof of the next hangar. Just a simple course.
That must
You
be
don't
for the
have far to
benefit
go.
of the listeners, because I know this layout. Like
Everybody
back
does.
of my paw.
Of course you do. Anyone who's played any racing game from the 90s will know it.
Yeah, I saw you roll for damage on old, I can't remember.
Phoenix's
car. What was that?
When I rolled a 6,
She rolled a 1.
you rolled a 6 to get damaged, and she rolled a 1.
So her car's only 1 damage.
Well, her car's accumulated some damage. What I do is when I have 2 numbers, I add them together, and that makes the big number.
Whoa. Slow down right now.
So she has a total of 5 damage to her car. You can tell that just by looking because of your innate raccoon insight. All right. So next round, everybody selected your dice?
Yep.
Okay, let's go. Do we have a 1? A 2? A 3? A 4?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Damn it.
4 is to use an item, if I'm not mistaken. Who would like to start?
I feel like I've got something that really depends on us.
Good. Sounds like yours is the funniest. Let's pick Wegs. Wegs, tell me what you're doing.
I have a box. I've now run out of ideas. I take box, I throw out of the window at Phoenix's head. Her window's also down because she's wound the window down to verbally abuse us because we have attacked her for no reason.
Makes sense.
I'm going to throw the box at her head in the hope that it will land over her head. We will be able to drive away and she won't know who crashed into her.
It's a bold strategy. How many success points do you have there to spend?
We have 1.
I would say it's going to cost you that success point because this classifies to me as a cool trick. Because I'm also unfair, I'm going to roll a dice and see how successful it is.
Seems fair going.
It's a 1 successful. I'll give you a clue. I was aiming for a higher number than that. So the box momentarily obscures her vision, but given that it's an empty and very light cardboard box, it actually flies off of its own volition within a few seconds without having to do anything.
That's not what I intended for the box.
No. But them's the breaks, kid.
Yes.
Mike, talk to me.
Bin has released his paws off the accelerator and scurried up to the left-hand window and put it down. His intent is to come out onto the bonnet, scurry, duct tape in his mouth, the big roll, and he's going to start jury-rigging and strapping and trying to repair some of our damage.
Well, I'm interested to hear your position on what kind of check this should be. Alacrity will allow you the agility to do it, or rotundity could be your steadfast ability to stay focused in the face of such danger.
It definitely sounds like rotundity and not alacrity.
Higher score in that, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure, give us a go.
I have 2 for rotundity.
Okay.
I have 1 success.
1 success. So you scurry out onto the front bonnet, clinging, using your prehensile tail onto the radio antenna, and you manage to get some duct tape wrapped around the front, which is obviously where all the damage is, because that's how cars work. Only the bit you've hit. And you repair 6 points of damage, giving you a 4 plus a 2 there. So your car is fighting fit again. You're only on 1 out of 10 damage, but Phoenix is smoking. Fitz.
I can be honest. I picked an action. I picked 6 and an action. And I was going down a way different path to you guys.
Careful, I'm on the bonnet.
Yeah.
Don't tell me you're actually trying to compete in the race.
Yeah.
That's not why we're here.
My crazy plan was to swing in to Phoenix's car using the top of her driver's side window, double paws or back paws out, kick her out of her not as damaged car, and take over the less damaged car before Raccoon MacGyver over here with his toothpick and duct tape repaired our car to within almost showroom pristine condition.
There's nothing I like more than punishing bravery. So I would like you to roll for me.
And I think that could.
And I would say it's going to take 3 successes. So I'm guessing you're going to hope you fail here.
I have 3 successes.
We're going to have 2 cars.
So Phoenix is bodily ejected. She wasn't wearing a seatbelt for some reason. Through the passenger door.
The passenger door was unlocked.
And tumbles without harm. She's fine into the drainage ditch next to the runway, and stands up, waving her fist at you, and says, you bloody pack of glass!" As you take the accelerator of her car and begin to move away. And actually, for your dashing and daring, I'll allow both your cars to now be, you've maneuvered them to be both facing in the same direction, side by side. But Mr. Big, almost halfway up the runway now, long way ahead of you. Fitz, I want to remind you, you're on your own in that car.
Yeah.
We have double the horsepower now.
That's right. Unless, look, if there's some kind of magical raccoon way you can have of...
If you strap 2 cars together, are they faster?
I would like to hear the argument for why
How
that
much
works.
duct tape do you have
Let
left?
me prepare my use action.
Do you still have duct tape?
Oh.
Do you?
I might.
Don't
Hang
sound
on,
very,
hang
you
on.
sound
Before
very
we start,
confident.
I genuinely didn't need to know the answer to that. I don't think 2 cars strapped together are faster.
Hey.
Well, it's got more
I don't think
horsepower,
you
of
could
course it would be.
Push kick a woman out of her
you
car like you
stupid?
did, but here we are.
Yeah, I didn't think, exactly. I didn't think raccoons would be undercover police, but apparently some of them are.
Don't give it away.
There's an undercover cop here.
Don't get caught.
Terribly sorry they weren't there for that flashback. It's your omnipotent narrator ruining it again. I would think if you can make a justification for why that would work, and I'm pretty easily convinced because I'm not that clever. Cool, set your dice up.
I don't know.
I
don't know whether to get back in the car with you guys or just keep going.
No, I don't think you can talk about that,
Oh, no,
and
I
I'm going to
can't.
curtail.
I can't.
You saw me trying to shoot daggers to him.
Sorry, curtail, like a raccoon.
Yes.
This conversation right now.
Also, I don't think raccoons have a prehensile tail, do they?
Okay, so you didn't grab onto the radio antenna.
Oh,
You
wait.
fell to go down.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Shush.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't know this was the biology hour.
Clearly, raccoons have a prehensile tail and laser beam eyes.
Okay, do I have any 1s? 2s? 3s? 4s?
Yes,
4 is a user item?
it is.
Talk to me about that.
I'm remaining on the hood of the car, of our car, and now my intention is to scurry across. And I look back through, so in the windscreen where I can see Mr. Coot, I'm like, keep the ship steady, would ya? And then from bonnet to bonnet, with tape is already stuck on ours, and I'm now scurrying straight across, and I disappear out of view, only to reappear back up on the front right quarter panel of our car, still tape in mouth, straight across, and then I disappear out of view again. Only to come back.
I think I know where this is going.
Can you please edit this so it goes from left speaker to right speaker? So it sounds like you're moving. I mean, I thought I would just tape the 2 B pillars of the windows together, but no, this is a far more creative idea.
better.
I love it. I think it's
Much
fantastic.
better.
And I didn't, you know what? I didn't roll. Your speed was only 2, but I didn't roll it. So you've actually got
Do you
1
think
success.
I need some more success?
Well,
for
you've
this?
got. I've just rolled a 4 and a 5, so you've got another success there. I'm willing to let your absolute daring do go unpunished for a success.
Ooh.
Otherwise,
do it.
I want an alacrity roll to see if you get pinned underneath the cars.
You wouldn't have thought it was a chutzpah?
I would not. Thank you, though. Appreciate your query.
Happy if I spend the
Yes.
success?
Yeah, absolutely.
Very, very.
Done.
So your two cars are now taped together.
Yay!
What could possibly go wrong? That was a 4. Do I have any 5s?
Yes.
Which you're still in the
Still
Phoenix
in,
Fury
The Phoenix Fury.
Pontiac.
And I figure, well, in for a penny. And I jump 4 paws to the accelerator and use
Okay.
my
Well,
laser beam tail as well. And
correct me if I'm wrong, because there's 2 cars now. That would go twice as quickly.
Absolutely.
So that
that's just mechanics.
It wouldn't push us in one direction or the other.
no,
It'd be forward and faster.
the fact no one's on the accelerator, the other car wouldn't make any difference. So I'm going to say you're beginning now to start closing distance up behind Mr. Big. So I must have a 6 left from you, Wegs.
I am so stunningly impressed by the duct tape acrobatics
As are we
that
all.
have taken place. And truth be told, I've started to fall head over heels in love with Raspberry Jones. I am merely a man, a raccoon man,
Raccoon-shaped man.
a raccoon
Yeah.
man. I turn, because they're now both in the other car, aren't they?
Well, you're on the bottom.
Well, he's between cars at the moment. I think he's doing the split
the
between the two
JCVD,
trucks.
yeah.
He's got a paw on each thing, just holding
Yeah.
duct tape like this.
I look
Oh,
like
like
the
Spider-Man too.
figurehead on the front of a Viking boat or something.
I was going to do it in action, and then I remembered this is audio only. Like a Rolls Royce. Leaning forward,
yes.
leading with your chin.
I just need one other raccoon to lift me.
Kind of semi like a Mad Max type strapped to the front. Of it.
Yes,
yeah,
love
no,
that.
but-
Very good.
But voluntarily.
Mad Max Fury Road, starring Tom Hardy. Highly recommended by the podcast.
And I scream, "Witness, fleas!"
Yes.
Terrible.
I'm so overcome with admiration of these two that I say, and this is my action and consequences come as they may. Guys, I want you to know you can no longer call me Mr. Coot. You can call me Special Agent Coot.
No!
I want you to know I've decided to pursue a life of crime with you as my crime family. Come on, guys, we can win this race. I'm hoping that my motivational speech will give us some gusto. Give us
Guy
some
was a
bravery.
cop. There were no indicators. It was
I'm not
good.
really open to a relationship right now. But
That's okay. Look. Let's be friends and see what happens.
Because serendipity works like this sometimes. As you see, the cars are slowly closing in, you make this heartfelt speech, you turn back to look through the front windscreen, and you see, from stage right, through the abandoned hangar at full speed, come a police car. The backup you called is here.
Oh yeah, I forgot about them.
And at speed, if I was to put it on a scale, I would say it was 10 out of 10.
Oh my god.
It T-bones into the side of Mr. Big's car. Oh my god. Driving him off the runway. And into a stack of red barrels.
Yes.
And in the airport.
And I'll get you to
the
roll.
airport.
In fact, I think Wegs, you should roll this dice. Roll the dice for me and tell me what the number is on it.
5.
It's a 5. That means it explodes with 5 times the force of the Hiroshima bomb.
What?
And Mr. Big is instantly turned to liquid.
Yes.
The police car continues unscathed because evil never prospers and the good must win.
Thank you.
And your two cars strapped together continue down the runway at speed. No police car could possibly catch you now. Tell me, having had your competition eliminated and won the street racing championship, where now?
We just keep driving, guys. The road will tell us where to go.
It's like it's going to be off into the sunset, but before the camera cuts, it's us like going through a chain link fence, and you hear some like in the background, and it just
Or you
explodes.
just go spread across your face.
The car goes nose down into the ditch. You see steam puff.
And I'm sitting there.
The indicators are on.
Yeah.
And as the shocking revelation of Mr. Coots' police background is that. Do you accept him, or is he going to be rejected by your burgeoning crime syndicate?
As our car's in the ditch and the airbags have gone off and the dust is going and it's all starting to dissipate, Vin Diesel is gone. Not there. One of the doors is open and there's paw prints
I tell you
out
what,
through the dirt.
I'll steal a trick from like the ending of games like Fiasco. Just roll me a single dice.
It's a 4.
It's a 4. It's a success. So I would say it's a success with consequences. So As the dust is still clearing, he looks over and he sees Raspberry still shocked from the impact, and Mr. Coot is...
Special Agent Coot.
Sorry, Special Agent Coot is strapped into the rear seat there. Bin takes one final look back and scurries off into the desert. And as he goes, he looks down at the piece of paper that's stuck on his paw, and it's a $10,000 bill that flew loose from Raspberry's wallet. It's the last payment he needs to get his Boca Raton thing. A tear comes to his eye. Will he ever be truly happy? But then when he moves in with Agnes down in Boca Raton and has a nice time, he actually is. He has a lovely time.
Yes!
Because this doesn't seem like a game where we need negative endings.
No.
Raspberry, what do you do?
Well, I sort of shake the dust off and pull myself up back onto the seat of our crashed but now winning car, knowing that I've beat my rival, knowing that I am now the second only female champion of the underground LA racing drag racing scene. I look over at Special Agent Coot, Benny. I think this might be the beginning of a beautiful friendship.
And I absolutely knew that was the line. If you hadn't said it, I would. Thank you. Roll me a dice, and I'll let me see how this shakes out.
It's a 2.
It's a 2. So, Raspberry, unfortunately, the love affair is short-lived as she's dragged back to her father's side. But on the plus side, he dies very shortly afterwards, and she takes over the cosmetics empire. Yay!
And I feel like you're setting us up for like a casino heist sequel.
Just one more job. One more job, goddamn.
One more job.
And Special Agent Coot, a man who's written his own fate, who's grabbed God by the ears and demanded he take control of his own destiny. What happens now?
I stand at the end of a pier. No, it's not dark. It's all
okay.
family friendly. Calm down. I reflect. I've been abandoned by Ben. He's seeking his fortune down in sunny Florida. Raspberry has abandoned me to a life of cosmetics manufacturing.
And billions of dollars.
Billions upon billions of dollars.
Fair.
I stand at the end of the pier looking at my badge. I'm about to throw it into the water.
Now roll me a dice. A 1.
1.
As the badge leaves your hand, it spins up in the air and gets sucked into the air intake of a low-flying airliner. Which, everyone survives, it's fine. But unfortunately, you find yourself on the hook for an awfully big insurance bill from the aviation company, and you find the only way to repay it is back at the one place your soul would never let you return to.
Not the Big Cheese's office.
The Big Cheese's office for your next assignment.
Damn you,
All the endings. I'm sorry, you're the only one who took bold personal action and should have developed, but I gave you nothing because dice are cruel. Anyway, guys, that is the end of Crash Pandas. Thank you very much for playing. Look, anyone who's listening, I took lots of liberties with the rules. I used them as a framework more than the game. I offended many accents and I apologize for that. But we all had a lot of fun here. I hope that everyone listening did too. Mike, any parting words of wisdom?
That was fantastic. That is our first podcast series complete. The RPG of Trash Pandas.
Crash
Pandas.
Trash Pandas.
It was a 50-50.
I think we were Trash Pandas by the end, let's be honest.
we were responsible for a lot of crashes.
It's true. Your policy of just employing violence towards everyone seemed to work.
works.
Fitz, have you any parting words for
I would just like to pause
there? Well done.
and give a thanks to all of you for playing with me tonight. It has been most fun, and I've enjoyed it thoroughly.
Wags, I'm sorry you didn't get the ending you deserved, but
When do we ever? It's only fitting for my character. The archetypal tragic hero. Also kind of a square, kind of a dingus.
we might pick back up 20 years later and he's become like a Max Payne 3 kind of failed alcoholic. That might be fun. But anyway, the game was Crash Pandas. Rowan Rook and Descartes' website or Drive Through RPG is a great place to get it. Really, thanks a lot for listening. Our next game is going to be an exciting adventure in the 40k universe that might be a bit longer than this one, so I hope you will join us again. Thank you very much for being with us. I've been Gordon. This has been great fun. Thanks for coming.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Flashing magic, alright. Smashing Badger